let's get this ceremony started, shall we? I would like to thank everybody for coming today. It's amazing that it's actually not raining. I feel like it's been raining all spring. So at this time, it wouldn't be a Gorham Pageant of Bands ceremony without a band. So if everybody could please turn around, the Marcus Whitman Marching Wildcats will be proceeding down the road. For those that don't know me, my name is Lisa Greffrath, and I am the Marcus Whitman Band and Booster President. And before we get started with the ceremony, I'd like to acknowledge a few of the many people who are instrumental in making this project a reality today. As you can see, we had an incredible number of individuals, families, businesses, and civic organizations contribute towards funding this project. While there are too many to name, all of you, are what made this possible. We worked with Mural Mania, a group of artists led by Mark DeCracker, to bring this mural to life. They did a fantastic job. Let's give them a round of applause. But none of this would have been possible without our Boosters organization. We're joined here today by our members, including Vice President Michelle Boylan, Treasurer Adam McVean, Secretary Aaron Santanastasso, Nicole McVean, and Jen Hubbard. The board worked very hard to get us to this point and support this project. I'll be honest, I was a lot nervous about backing a project like this as a booster organization. Without knowing what the response from the community would be, it was a large commitment. We're proud to share that, thanks to the incredible amount of support we received, this project was funded entirely from donations. That itself, I think, deserves a round of applause. It's no secret that the pageant was a backbone of this community for over a half a century. We're proud to be able to continue to support our marching programs along with this project. At this time, please welcome Superintendent of Schools for Marcus Whitman, Dr. Chris Brown, to the podium for some remarks.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today as we unveil a mural that not only adds beauty to our community, but also honors something deeply meaningful, the Gorham Pageant of Bands. This mural is more than paint on a wall. It's a tribute to the power of music, the pride of performance, and the legacy of arts education here at Marcus Whitman. For decades, the Pageant of Bands has been a landmark of our school culture and a source of identity for Gorham and our entire district. It brought students, families, and entire communities together in celebration of talent, teamwork, and tradition. Music and the arts aren't just extracurricular, they are essential. They teach discipline, creativity, collaboration, and expression. And at Whitman, they've helped define who we are. Our music programs have always set a high bar, and this mural reminds us of that legacy, a legacy we are proud to carry forward. To the artists who brought this vision to life, thank you. To those who marched, performed, volunteered, and cheered over the years, you are part of this story. May this mural stand as a lasting reminder of what it means to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Brown. Next, I'd like to introduce the Mural Mania co-founder, Mark DeCracker.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. I haven't seen a crowd like this since the first one we did in 2017, or 2007, 18 years ago. And that's where this all began, on the back of my t-shirt. We had the schools there. They did the same thing, played God Bless America and sang on the Erie Canal in the crowd. This is amazing. So my friend Noel and I started this idea back in February of 2007. We wanted to do something to uplift the community pride, through bringing back history, the preservation of history through community art. And it took us about 4 months to do this, but when we saw 250 people show up for the dedication, I knew this would be successful. And then other communities got a hold of us. during that time, Noel had scleroderma. It's a debilitating disease where he had lost some of his arms and legs, so he had prosthetics. And it never stopped him from the passion that he had to make this happen. Later in October, he died that year. At the state fair, a woman came up to me and said, you're here to carry on this dream. And to this day, we're doing it. And I'm familiar with this area. I worked in Naples and South Bristol, and I drove 245 all the way from Naples to Lyons, New York, and I didn't have to hit a stoplight. It's wonderful. Beautiful curvy roads, countries, love it. So I just want to say, Mural Mania, the preservation of history through community art. If I don't mind stealing a couple lines from the famous movie Field of Dreams, it reminds us of what was great and can be again. So with that, I'm not the one that's going to organize. It's up to you guys. But on June 6th next year, I want to see bands marching down here. We'll be here because we got to bring it back after COVID. It stopped in 2019. That's about COVID. So I'm putting a big responsibility on your plate. If we paint it, they will come. Look it, they're coming. So thank you, and they will keep coming. And it's going to help the businesses out. You know, the Old Mill restaurant, things like that. It all started, we did 50 miles of murals, and that led to eventually getting the Global Mural Conference, which we had in Fairport. We had artists from all over the world, and we just keep painting, and I don't know how many we're at now. We're over 50 of them, so I can't do it without wonderful artists. I have a couple here today. There's many that worked on it. Mark Williams, he designed this mural. Stand up, there he is right there. Tori Reynolds, Michelle Powers, there they are. And we all contributed to making this a success. All those wonderful names that are on the bricks up there were done by Corey. So he's got a great penmanship there. So we have other, would any of our artists like to say a few words, or are you good? You tell me. You good? Okay. I want to say that it's not, one of the things we do is we use the best paint in the world, and it's out of New York State. Golden Artist Colors. And this is a sample jar we had. This says Gorham Shadow. So the shadow of the rocks or the bricks there, this is what we use. So you have a base paint. And I will donate some of our brushes and paint to the museum over here so you can remember this forever. So golden paint out of New Berlin, down by Cooperstown. So I'd like to, again, thank everybody for coming out today, and this is a dream come true, and it's great. I love small communities. You guys come out. There's nothing like it. And this is something that everybody that came today is going to remember. I'd like to thank Austin, who got a hold of me last year. We might have had it done for 24, but we were working on this 2,000 square foot mural that took up our summer. So thanks for being patient, Austin. It's what I like about Austin is I would send him something, he'd say, awesome, 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 you're doing a great job. And then at the last minute, Austin would go, hey, can you add 4 or 5 people into the mural? And I got 4 or 5 more names to go in. And we did find space, so thank you for your additions. And we got to come back and touch it up with the things, and we're going to put a special seal so that we'll preserve it for years. It's an ultraviolet UV protection, so we'll be good there. So, well, again, thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Gorham Town Supervisor, Dale Stell.
Good afternoon and welcome to Gorham, the bandstand of the Finger Lakes. Still no other community can make that claim. Look, let me start over in case somebody. Good afternoon and welcome to Gorham, bandstand of the Finger Lakes. Still no other community can claim that name. Thank you to the band boosters and everyone who helped make this happen. A special thank you to Jerry Proctor and his family for allowing this beautiful mural to be hung here. graduating from Marcus Whitman in 2000, yeah, I wish, in 1973, I grew up during the heyday of the Gorham Pageant of Bands. The first Saturday in June was looked forward to not only here, but by communities and school districts for miles around. And I remember specifically the huge rivalry we had with Batavia. I miss not having the pageant competition here. I bet many of you do too. The pageant has been on recess for a few years now. Maybe it can be revived, but maybe it can't. My challenge to you is to consider it. Think about it. 2026 is our nation's 250th anniversary. What a great year to bring the pageant out of recess. Think about it.
All right, thank you, Dale. I'd like to welcome the Gorham Rotary Club Treasurer, Tom Harvey.
Thank you, Lisa. And again, I'm Tom Harvey, and I'm here today representing the Gorham Rotary Club, which is a service organization that's been serving Marcus Whitman School District since 1951. It's truly an honor to be here today with you to celebrate the public dedication of the Gorham Pageant of Bands mural. It's a celebration not only of a beautiful piece of art, but one that honors and commemorates a cherished part of our community's rich history, one that strengthened our history and brought awareness of our community across the Finger Lakes region and beyond. On behalf of the Gorham Rotary Club, we offer our greetings and are proud to lend our support from a group of people deeply connected to this community. Our members live right here in the community. Our children have walked the halls of Marcus Whitman schools. We've played in the bands, twirled flags in the color guard, and marched proudly down Main Street in this very pageant. For us, this mural is personal. It reflects the music, the memories, and the moments that shaped our lives. Our club expresses our sincere gratitude and thanks to Austin Kepmart for the opportunity and the privilege to stand here today and to take part in such a meaningful event as a proud partner in this project. Austin, your vision and commitment have helped ensure that the spirit of the pageant continues to inspire us all. To the students and the alumni who gave your time, your talent, and your passion to the pageant, whether you marched, played, cheered, or supported from the sidelines, this mural is for you. To the teachers, staff, and administration who gave so much of yourselves year after year to guide and support these young performers, your legacy lives on through every brushstroke. And to the town officials, the volunteers, and the community leaders who made the pageant possible for so many decades, your dedication built something far greater than an event. You built our community, you built a tradition. Over the years, the Pageant of Bands was blessed by the tireless commitment of some truly remarkable individuals. People like Jack Bowen, Bob Steele, Mark Benson, Bruce McCready, and Bill Perkett. Each of you gave so much of themselves to make the pageant not just an event, but an experience that brought pride, energy, and unity to our schools and our community. Jack and Bob specifically are now forever immortalized in this mural. Your leadership and legacy are stitched into every note that was played, every banner that was waved, and now every stroke of this artwork. Today is a powerful reminder that the legacy of the pageant lives on. It has been truly heartening to see just how many people have stepped forward: alumni, parents, teachers, artists, neighbors, all eager to preserve and honor what the pageant stood for. This mural is more than a piece of public art. It's a testament to the shared love of music, a commitment to youth, and a deep pride in community. So I am filling in here today. I'm not actually the president. I'm past president a couple of times and the current treasurer. Our club president, Kevin Farnsworth, could not be here today. He's got his current students from Gananda School District competing at Hershey Park this weekend. And it's unfortunate again that he can't be here because of his personal involvement with the pageant over the years. He announced at the parade for many years, the awards ceremony. He still lends his voice to the Winter Guard show. The Rotary Club was proud to be a part of this vibrant celebration that took place each Saturday during pageant weekend, assisting with the Boy Scouts fried dough booth right there on Jack Motz's Main Street front yard. A favorite tradition in its own right. Go Troop 63, right? The dedication of the caterers, the tent and awning companies, fire and police departments, bus drivers, and the hundreds of others reflects the true heart of this community, a community that values its young people and takes pride in celebrating their talents. The participation of dozens of schools from across New York State helped spread the name and the spirit of the Gorham Pageant of Bands to every district and community that joined us. We are truly thrilled to be part of this moment, to witness the mural's unveiling, and to know that it will stand proudly for generations to come as a symbol of everything the pageant and this community represents. May it inspire students yet to come to pick up an instrument, wave a flag, or step into leadership with pride. May it remind us all of the joy of coming together, of cheering each other on, and of building something that lasts. Thank you all, students, teachers, alumni, town officials, and neighbors for being here today.
All right. Our next speaker, so we were, as a boosters organization, discussing who we would like to have speak today, and we had some ideas. And one thing we discussed was, you know, who better to have come speak than someone that, as probably a little kid, ran around watching his father direct bands, and then was a student himself that marched in the band, and then became a director that brought his kids from the school he directed at to the pageant. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Jimmy Steele.
Good afternoon. So I'm going to do this in Bob Steele fashion. I have nothing in my hands. It's all in my head and in my heart. To see my dad's picture on a wall, I'd much rather it be right in front of my face. For all of you that were in the band, in the color guard, drumline, had the honor of working with my dad. He touched your lives as much as he touched mine as a son. My dad's pride and joy was the band program. And in '93 when he passed, I was getting called and talked to by many people that I should come back and take over for my father. My answer was always the same. I don't want to have to try to duplicate the legacy, because it can't be duplicated. So I went off to Medina and created my own legacy. And it's not about trophies, it's not about winning, it's about teaching youngsters the difference between right and wrong. It's about discipline. And if you can do those three last things, the winning will come by itself. I had the express pleasure of having my father see one championship in the Carrier Dome. It was a fourth place finish in 1992. Medina was not very good. I'd only been there for about 2 months. And it took 3 or 4 years to get to the point to where we were winning like Marcus Whitman used to win. Everybody would ask me in Medina, they go, is it difficult to continue what you're doing? And I said, I don't look at it as a continuation. I look at every year, so every year is different. The kids that come in front of you are brand new. They don't know what the program is. They really don't know what history is. They just care about when rehearsal's gonna end, if there are hot dogs that are still hot, and if Mr. Steele's in a bad mood. So I did really well, and I'm blessed to have had a 30-year career. The day after my dad passed, I went to the superintendent of schools at Medina and I said, I'm just letting you know that I will be gone at 30 years and 55 because I wanted to be able to enjoy my life. I miss teaching. I miss my dad, and I've met some of the greatest people in my life that are standing before me. I'll give you a few stories that you probably won't believe, but they are true. One happens to happen with Mr. Burkett, Mr. Benson, and my father sitting at a kitchen table at 2574 Main Street, just up the way on the left. Molly Steele was present at that evening's activities, and there were a few drinks to be had. Unfortunately, the liquor was underneath the kitchen sink, and she went to bed. Came down 2 hours later where they were continuing to talk about what to do at the next rehearsal, and I was sitting there like a little kid just soaking it all up because I knew someday I wanted to be just like my dad. Until she came down and found the turpentine on top of the counter. She said, Bob, get upstairs, and Bill and Mark, please go home. Other stories, and I don't think anybody knows this because my dad was so mad at me. You know the golf cart that he used to drive? He loved that golf cart, and it came from the Seneca Lake Country Club. And he got that donated and whole 9 yards, so I can't remember what year it was, but it was sitting in the driveway at 2574 Main Street, Gorham. My dad was watching, I believe it was a PGA championship, and all of a sudden he sees his green Chrysler, Dodge Chrysler, like shaking. Because I thought I put it in forward and I had put it in reverse. And I smashed that thing so bad, I never drove another golf cart again. So I owe a lot to you people. Your support of me throughout the years with my program from Medina. I still call Bill Burkett Uncle Burkett. I see him all the time now and will never stop my visits to him in Geneva. As I'm walking from my vehicle with my girlfriend, people are coming up to me like I'm something, and I'm just one of you. And I'm so proud to be a Marcus Whitman Wildcat. You all look at the current situation of the band, and the band is the band. It's one band, one sound. It makes no difference if there's 2 kids, if there's 200. I'll tell you right now, to bring it back to the way that was is almost impossible. My bands, when I started at Medina, were about 160, 170. I used to con them into staying in marching band because we always wanted a full trip out of state. They got a chance to get out of Medina, which is not much bigger than Marcus Whitman or Rushville or Gorham. And we were very successful, and we were known as, you know, the powerhouse when we used to come to the pageant. And today's day and age, kids are spread so thin. They're great athletes. They're great at their books. They're great at working. Some kids have to work to put food on the table for their families. So if you're one of those people that are like, you know, back in the day, well, back in the day is right today. Today is the day that we find support for the youth of America and the youth of Rushville and Gorham, and we support it at whatever level it's at. And I had the honor of going to their final rehearsal at Geneva 2 days before the Dome. And it brought me back to going to the Dome for the first time myself. And all I saw when I walked in were kids who just wanted to learn. Because if you go in with that kind of mindset, the success will come. And everything will be what you want it to be. So I agree with the young man from Mural Mania. I agree with Austin. I agree with all of you that the only thing missing today is a Bob Steele golf cart and a parade going down the street. So I am pledging to you, if something comes around and you want somebody to run it, I sort of know a little bit about the Gorham Pageant. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. I believe our last speaker is going to be Austin Kephart. And I have to definitely give Austin a lot of credit. He pushed me to do this project because, like I said, I'm a dairy farmer and a mom and a booster president, and I have a lot going on. And I thought, really, Austin, we want to do a mural? But you know, I am so happy we did. I'm amazed by the turnout today. I'm amazed by the donations that came in. I've loved all the stories I've got to hear along the way. I've heard about a couple that met at a parade and they've been happily married for years. I met a fellow somewhere he's around here that he was in the first pageant. So yeah, it's been a great experience. And without Austin pushing me along with Amelia, this probably wouldn't happen. So thank you, Austin, and I'll let him have the podium.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can because I don't know how much longer that ribbon's holding on. But please bear with me. Like Lisa said, my name is Austin Kephart. I have the privilege, and I do mean it, it is a privilege, to be the Assistant Director of the Markston Marching Wildcats, and also have worked with our booster board and our booster organization to make today possible and to bring this mural to life. First, if I can share some thank yous. Now, some people say hold your applause to the end. I don't believe that applies today. Every single one of the people in the groups I'm about to name are more than deserving of your applause, so I ask you to join me for each one of those. To our speakers today, Dr. Brown, Supervisor Stell, Jimmy, thank you all for your support, your perspective, for being here today. It means a lot to all of us here on the band side of things. To Mark and his entire team at Mural Mania, I can't thank you enough. Mark, as he alluded to, or he just said, I texted him, I emailed him, I called him more than any sane person probably should. But here we are, and it all worked out. But he put up with a lot from me. His team just does incredible work. They're the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. So thank you, Mark, and your team as well for being here today. To Jerry Proctor and his entire team at Proctor's Enterprises. We're at their lot on their building that they put up the mural on, so they deserve a round of applause for just doing that for us and for always being so supportive of our community and our program. The Town of Gorham Historical Society is here. They've had some artifacts from pageants throughout the years. We're incredibly grateful that they're here today. They contributed towards the mural. The Middlesex Heritage Group did as well. We have some active historians in Rushville. We have a great community dedicated to our community's history. So thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. I would be remiss not to thank my other half, Amelia Rasmussen. She is not only that, but she is, of course, our award-winning, championship-winning color guard director here at Marcus Vetman. And she is the best of the best in terms of advocates for our kids and our program, and of course, for me, so I can't thank you enough. Yeah, you can clap again. That's okay. She deserves to. Thank you to Tom for being here on behalf of the Rotary Club. He undersold it. They were our presenting sponsor, which means that they backed us from the beginning. And they also, I mean, realistically, they put up a substantial sum of money to make sure this happened today. Thank you as well to both the Rushville Lions Club and Lions National. They served as our founding donors, and they helped us get to the finish line. So we can give them a round of applause, all three of them. To our booster board and all of our boosters, thank you. You are the wind beneath our wings. You are what makes this program possible, and we can't thank you enough for today and for everything we see in terms of marching and field band and color guard. Thank you so much, all of you. It's a pleasure to work with all boosters. In particular, I just want to thank and shout out Lisa Greffrath for being, she's incredible. She's absolutely incredible. Like she said, she did not need another project. She did not need something else going on. But she, just like Mark, put up with countless phone calls and texts and emails and staying after practice, coming in before. We are incredibly lucky to have you, Lisa. So thank you. Thank you. And finally, thank you everyone for being here today. If you donated towards the project, if you told your friends and family about it, if you followed our progress on Facebook, on social media, or if you just came out and saw the hot dogs and wanted one, that's cool too. We're so glad you're here. This is I think I speak for the entire booster board, that next to the mural itself, this is our favorite part of this project, having everyone around again today. So thank you all for being here. Now this project, it first started to take shape in September of last year. That's during our field band season, and I had a conversation with a couple of our younger students, and the Pageant of Bands came up. Well, I say it came up, I brought it up, and they didn't know what I was talking about. They had no clue. And so after that conversation, two things dawned on me pretty soon after. The first was that I myself am one of the last students, the last grade level, if you will, students to march in the Pageant of Bands, to Mark Sloman. And secondly, and which is what brought us here today, the fact that the Pageant of Bands, despite being a staple of our community for nearly 60 years, aside from the two, which they are fantastic, but the two welcome signs on either side of the hamlet, you would have had no idea driving through in 2021, 2022, that the Pageant of Bands was here. And something about that didn't sit right with me, and I brought it to Lisa and the board, and she says after a lot of convincing, they came along pretty easy. But after talking to them, I learned that it didn't sit right with them. So I talked to Mark and his team at Mural Mania, and we began working on a design that encompassed the pageant's legacy. And in February, as so many of you know, we went public with the project, we launched our fundraising campaign, and immediately we knew that the community was behind us in this project. In just a few months, we shattered our fundraising goal. I'm proud to say that we had over 100 individual donations between individuals, businesses, community organizations. People came out of the woodwork in droves to help support this project. Thank you. As I kept saying that, thank you. And I can proudly say that the Pageant of Bands in the bandstand of the Finger Lakes finally has a permanent home in Gorham. Before we close today, there's one other group of people that I'd like to recognize. For those who may not have known or haven't had a chance to read the dedicator up here, Jack Bullock founded the pageant in 1960. Now Jack is a nationally recognized composer and arranger, and his storied career just happened to include a couple years here in Gorham. Unfortunately, Jack passed away in 2022 at the age of 91. But we wanted, of course, to recognize Jack in this project, and just like Bob Steele, we wanted to get his family's blessing to do so. So after a few cold calls on numbers that I found on the internet, would not recommend doing that, but we found them eventually, I was able to speak to Jack's son Paul, and we got that blessing. And what's more, and I'm sure they're out here, I'm looking at a couple of them, I'm sure they're all around here, about a dozen members of Jack's family are joining us today. And that includes Paul, Jack's daughter Lynn, and I believe Jack's sister June, is that right? And she is 94 years old today, or not today, she's 94 years old with us, which is absolutely fantastic. And what I think is really special about today, of course we're here the first weekend of June, which was for many years the Pageants weekend. But along with that, today, June 7th, 2025, would have been Jack's 95th birthday. So we're glad to be able to do this with him today. Jack's reputation in the instrumental world precedes him. He certainly did not need any help enshrining his legacy, but we wanted to give him a boost as well. And him and Bob and the countless instructors and directors and volunteers that sustained the pageant and made it so special. This is for them, and this is for the community. This is for us. So we're so glad to be able to do this today and be a part of it. So thank you very much. At this time, I'll welcome our speakers, the Bullock family, and we're going to cut the ribbon. So come on up. Thank you. Kids, can we get a countdown? 3, 2, 1. Got it.
Afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul. I'm Jack's son. I have so many great memories. We didn't live here 20 years. We lived here a few early grades, like kindergarten, first for me, right there. And when this started, I just remember thinking, asking my dad, why he spent so much time. Every time we went somewhere, we had to do with music. Anytime we went anywhere. And then when we started this, the pageant, and I remember my mom sewing decorations and costumes and flags, and it just turned into such a memory. Like I say, I was young, but I have such a good memory of this town. Just was always welcome, was always warm here, and I miss that. This is just awesome. I just can't believe it. But it is just awesome what you guys did. I have so many memories, and I'm here now with both my daughters, my 2 grandsons, my aunt and uncle, and my other brother Billy and his wife. And it's just, I just can't say enough about it. So thank you, everybody involved with this. Thank you.
Thank you again for being here. We have plenty of food still, so feel free to take some for their own. Plenty of drinks, plenty of food. We don't want to take it with us, so please feel free to. The kids, you guys will start getting back up and getting changed. But thank you again for being here. And if you'd like to take any pictures, we will come and do that afterwards here as well. So thank you. Thank you one more time.